Hey everyone, in this video I'm gonna talk about 3 different ways how you can lose fat and get in shape for summer or just in general whenever you are watching this. So back in 2018 I lost about 15 kilograms in 3 months, and ever since I've been studying nutrition to figure out how I can stay in shape the entire year. Now with that knowledge I can now help others to achieve similar results. And normally, when you are looking for a way to lose fat, you will find people that say, this is the way you should do it and this is the only way. But actually what I found is that there are several ways to lose fat, but the method that is the best for you is the method that is the easiest for you to implement and the one that you can stay consistent with. Because weight loss is a journey that can take several months depending on how much kilograms you have to lose. So choosing a method that is easier for you is gonna make it the most likely that you succeed. So I'm gonna give you 3 different methods. Before we get into that, let's start with the basics that have to be considered by everyone, regardless of which method you will choose. Firstly, you have to start weighing yourself every day, standing on the scale. The reason is that you have to get an idea of what your weight is, how it fluctuates day by day, because actually it can have quite some fluctuations. And also you want to start keeping track of how whatever you eat or how much you move has influence on your weight. You want to see, is there an upwards trend, is there a downwards trend, am I staying at the same weight roughly speaking. So this is the first step. Everybody will have to do that if they want to lose fat, regardless what method they are going to use. You want to know if you are making progress. Now the second thing that everybody can do, regardless of what fat loss method you're gonna use, is simply doing some food switches. So switching, for example, to whole foods only, trying to cut out all packaged and processed foods, and also trying to, for example, eliminate all liquid calories. So never drink your calories, always go for 0-calorie drinks. And simple switches like that can already make you lose some weight, because you're cutting out some of those foods that are very high in calories and not very satiating. When you switch to whole foods, typically they are lower in calories and very satiating. So now let's move on to the weight loss methods. The first method is simple calorie counting. Now with calorie counting, what you do is all the foods that you eat, you're going to weigh them or measure them in some way, and you will have to use some sort of app or website that is going to calculate how many calories are inside your food. For example, I'm eating 100 grams of meat and it contains so many calories. There are apps out there, free apps such as Cronometer.com, I will write it down somewhere here, that can automatically calculate for you the number of calories that are in certain foods. Now what you have to do then is start measuring all the foods you eat every day, and you'll find that you eat a certain amount of calories every day. To lose fat, you gotta lower that number of calories that you eat every day, because in order to lose fat you gotta burn more calories than you consume. Now you can start with lowering it with 200 calories per day, and you will likely see that you will start losing weight. Now once you hit a plateau, you're not losing weight anymore, you can lower it again with another 200 calories. And just keep going like that until you reach your desired end weight. This is method 1. The benefit of this method is you can almost eat anything you want, as long as you arrive at that calorie limit you set for yourself. But the downside is that you have to be very precise. You have to weigh all your foods, you have to keep track, because if you don't keep track, then the numbers are not going to be right and you're going to probably eat more than you think you're eating, so the method won't work. So there's a lot of administration involved. The second method involves no calorie counting, but what I call portion control. For this method to work, you gotta have some sort of system of eating, meaning the number of meals you eat per day gotta be roughly the same every day, and the consistency, the composition of those meals has to be the same as well. For example, breakfast is always gonna be 4 eggs, 2 strips of bacon, and a glass of orange juice. I'm just making up an example. Then, once you have this standard sort of meals you're eating day by day, you can take away a portion of that meal and lower your calories that way. So for example, normally you would eat 4 eggs and 2 strips of bacon for breakfast, and then next week you will only eat 3 eggs and 2 strips of bacon for breakfast. So now you are actually still reducing the calories, but you're not really counting it like in a calorie counting method, but you're just taking parts away from your meal. Now, in order for this method to work, your meals have to be quite standardized. Of course, you can imagine if you eat a different number of meals every day and different foods, it's going to be very different to do some sort of systematic portion control. So a downside of this method is you really have to standardize your meals, and for some people, you know, they really like this variety, or they have a little bit more of a chaotic life, so it's difficult for them to implement this system. Now there is a third system, and that system is a fasting system. So the third way to lose weight is implementing some type of fasting. This can be either just fasting an entire day, for example 1 day a week, you do a 24-hour fast, or you do intermittent fasting, where you, for example, always skip breakfast and start your day with lunch and only have dinner and don't eat after that. Again, what you are doing, of course, is reducing your calories, the number of calories you eat, but just in a different way. This way you are just skipping some foods, and it is likely that even though you might eat a little bit more during lunch and dinner, the overall calories is probably going to be lower, and that way you will also lose weight. So these are 3 different methods to lose weight. Each of them have pros and cons, and I suggest to you just to find which one fits your lifestyle the best. You can try one out for a week, and if it doesn't work, try a different one. But each of these methods are just appropriate for different people with different lifestyles and different, you know, preferences. Me, for example, I'm a very data-oriented person. I like to be on top of the numbers. So I am a calorie counting person. I like to weigh my foods, I keep track of them in a spreadsheet, and I know exactly what goes in my body and how many calories it amounts to. But I know, for example, that my dad has lost a lot of weight with intermittent fasting, and he is just not willing to record all the foods that he is eating, and also he is not willing to make a system in which he is eating the same breakfast and lunch and dinner every day or every week. He likes to eat a variety of foods, and he is not really willing to do this sort of administration. So for him, intermittent fasting was a great solution to lose fat. So find the method that works best for you, stick with it, and you will definitely see results. I hope this was helpful to you. If you have questions or if you need more support with this, just let me know in the comments. Leave a like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you later. Bye bye.